Nigel Cecil, equity as you like it.
Especially for my equitable friends. Hello, Chakabutties. Nigel Cecil here, entertainment entrepreneur. And Hilary, hello Hilary, are you well? Yes, good to see you. Hilary, who helps me, has asked that I apologise for not having done a video for the past few weeks. Why? Because Nigel, moi, responds to my equitable friends who sent in their comments, observations and questions to this email address. And we've had none. We've had no emails for the past few weeks. I don't know why, but then it suddenly all changed. Oh, now we're inundated, aren't we? Yes, so we've got enough to keep going for a while now, but we'll still send them in if you like. They're very welcome, because a member said the magazine for autumn and winter, of course, has landed into their letterbox and onto the doorstep. And they said, Nigel, what do you think? And the first question that was raised was the equity family, because they were a bit concerned that long-serving members of staff, quite a number have left over the past few months, don't seem to have had any mention or thanks in either of the magazines. And if that's the case, it is a little bit remiss, one might think, because, you know, people like Lorne Boswell and members of staff like Louise Granger, you know, it would be nice to say a little thank you to them publicly. I mean, on the website, it's not the same thing. Having something tangible in a book is something completely different. So that's one thought. And another little thing, I've been asked to look at page 5 and work out the dates for next year's ARC. And it says, next year's ARC will be held in Leeds on Saturday the 21st to Monday the 23rd of June 2021. Ha ha ha! You say, oh, it's a typo. It's a typo. It should be 2022. Yes, but if you look at 2022, there's still no Saturday the 21st or Monday the 23rd of June. So I suspect, yes, we have to ignore that date, everybody, because there's going to be a correction. But what's the other thing? Yes, accompanying the magazine was the referendum. And again, members have said, Nigel, what do you think? What's your opinion? Well, I have to say, I'm wearing the no wang wang hat. There's a little bit too much wang wang on, because the referendum could quite possibly sustain a complaint that it's out of order. It's not valid. Why? Because you are supposed, according to the rules, to give a summary of arguments for and against the question being put. And if you look at the document, it says, in response to question 1 and question 2, no statements against the questions were made at either the council or the conference. Therefore, no statement has been submitted. Now you say, well, excuse me, no wang wang. So what equity is trying to say is 160 members or so attended as the council and the representatives at the SRC, and they said nothing. They didn't speak against it. So we've no need to publish any statement against. No, I'm sorry, that's not democratic. 160 people can't assume the wang wang of saying, well, we've not spoken against it, so we don't put any reasons against. The rules clearly say there has to be a statement for and against, a summary of statements. And indeed, the document mentions that it was passed by a 2/3 majority. Does that mean some members there abstained, or were there a few votes against? Because maybe they chose not to speak at those particular forums because it wasn't really ideal for them to speak. Keep your mouth shut until the referendum takes place. So I'm sorry, you can't just assume that you can say, well, we won't have a statement against. Indeed, if you're going to have a rule change, what happens if 160 people attend an ARC and say, yes, we're not going to speak against that rule book change, so we'll just not put a statement against? No. That's not allowed. No wang wang. You can't assume that you can just say, well, we're doing that. The rules are there to protect democracy. And democracy says, in order to give equal opportunity to all members to consider the arguments for and against, there will be a summary, there shall be a summary of arguments for and against. For questions 1 and 2, that has not happened. And therefore, as I've just said, to protect democracy within equity, no wang-wang, I believe, and my humble opinion is, the referendum is in breach of the rules and is out of order. Which is why I'm wearing the cap, as Nigel always says, no wang-wang. So please join me for the next video when we'll be discussing some more of the topics that have been raised since the magazine has been delivered. And thank you for joining me. And remember, no wang-wang in equity. No wang-wang.
Nigel Cecil, equity as you like it.
Especially for my equitable friends.